Night at Christie Pitts. Beautiful night for baseball. Let's take a look at the defensive positionings for today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You'll see no Yasiel Puig in the lineup, but it's DeBanning, Dutton, and Marcus Knecht from left to right in the outfield for the Maple Leafs today. And then on the infield, Spencer Ross at third base. Crix Tavares is filling in at shortstop. That's usually the position held by Brandon LaRue. Yordan Manduley at second. Mike Jaco back in the lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's at first. And Matt Brandt, as he's done all season, doing the catching today for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In a game where they'll need solid defense, they'll need good pitching from Gulko, who will face this lineup for the Barrie Baycats. Noel, McGarry, Doyle, the speedster, is leading things off and playing left field. Canice Ejoh is in center, batting second. The number 3 hitter is the second baseman, Francisco Hernandez. Then Ryan Rio is the DH today for the Barrie Baycats. In the cleanup spot in right field, it's Edgar Figueroa hitting 5th. At first base, Nolan Machibroda hitting 6th. And then the bottom 3 in the lineup, third baseman Adam Odd, catcher Wandy Ciprian, and shortstop Brandon Hernandez in the lineup today for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, this is a lineup that has been really, really good all season long, and that's who they're going to be going up against. Frankie Gulko, the man who has been pitching a lot better as the season's gone on. He's changed up his repertoire and how he approaches some of these hitters in the CBL. Again, like I mentioned in the interview with Rob Butler, the key takeaway that he was talking about with Gulko was the fact that a lot of hitters, they're really good at hitting the fastball. Gulko, he had to make that adjustment. He has, and we'll see here today against a really good Barrie Baycats lineup.
Frankie Gulko, a couple games ago, came into a relief outing. Their Maple Leafs were playing the well-in Jackfish. Veselinovic was pulled for the game. The bases were loaded at the time, and Gulko came in and stranded the bases loaded. Needed to get 2 outs, did, and ever since then and before that, he's pitched really well in relief for this Maple Leafs team, and he's getting his second start today on the mound. First pitch to Noel McGarry Doyle, swing and a miss, strike 1. Gulko has an ERA just over 7, but as you mentioned, Zach, earlier on in the game, those have come from just a couple of outings. Most of them have been pretty spotless from Gulko this year. As that pitch catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Here's Gulko's 0-2 pitch, and it's just outside. Try to get him with an off-speed pitch on the outer half. Noel McGarry Doyle is a batter that you want to try and keep off base as much as you can. He has excellent speed, and he's hitting over 400 this season. Here's a bouncing ball. Tavares has it, whips to first, and first bit of action is a good one for Crix Tavares. Boy, he had to get his timing right there. Got that ball off quickly, a strong throw to first, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, when you were mentioning McGarry Doyle's name through the lineup read, you said the speedster at the top. Just a tremendous job. He is able to hustle down the line there.
Now it's Canice Ejoh stepping in. Ejoh fouls this pitch off. So we had said that Mike Jaco was the first baseman today. It's actually Kurt Gibson over there at first. Looks like there was a last-minute change in the lineup. Here's the 0-1. This one's hit on the ground, and that one's going to find a hole. Canice Ejoh has himself a base hit, and there's one on with 1 out here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, when we were down there, me and you earlier today, just talking with Rob Butler and a couple of the players, talked with Jaco as well. He was excited to get back. Obviously, we hope that nothing got re-aggravated and he's able to possibly make an appearance in this ball game.
Yeah, I know the plan today was definitely to have Jaco at first, so see if we can figure that one out for you. First pitch, swing and a miss from Hernandez. That's Francisco Hernandez at the dish. A couple of nice breaking balls snapped off by Gulko early on here.
Again, it's just the change in his repertoire has been so important. You go from trying to dominate with the fastball just to allowing yourself to throw more off speeds and get control of the zone in different ways.
Canice Ejoh, recently voted in as an all-star, is over at first base. Here's the 1-1 to Hernandez. Ejoh goes. Hernandez lines it into the outfield for a base hit. Canice Ejoh is heading to third. The Banning's throw is offline. A diving tag by Spencer Ross, and he can't quite get there. Ejoh elected to stay on his feet and was able to just get around the tag of the diving Spencer Ross.
Yeah, Ross laid out for the tag a little bit offline as well from DeBanning. He came up firing, but it just kind of kept tailing towards the middle of the field.
Yeah, it was actually a tough throw for Dennis DeBanning in the outfield. He prioritized getting it off quickly, which almost worked out. But he actually threw that sidearm like an infielder because he was kind of going over to his left. Got a lot on that throw for a backing away sidearm throw to third base. And Ross just not quite able to get the tag down. And now a ball pops out of the glove of Matt Brandt. And Hernandez is going to make his way up to second base. He either read that really well or he was going. I mean, it certainly was a bit of a delayed steal there. There's the 1-0. I'm not sure Matt Brandt even knew that he was taking off after that ball popped out of his glove. He was stuck behind that big body of Ryan Rio there. I don't think he could even see around him at home plate. Here's the 2-0. And Rio takes a strike on the outer half.
I was watching batting practice for the Barrie Baycats when I got to the ballpark, and Ryan Rio, I mean, it is just such easy power off of his bat. We know what he's done throughout his career here with the Baycats, but I mean, just watching it live, it's just something else.
Ryan Rio's hitting .242 on the season. He's got a lot more in the tank. You'd have to expect that batting average to rise. He was going through a bit of a slump in the later half of June, but he has a hit in each of his last 2 games. That against London and Guelph. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Ryan Rio flares this one off to the left side, and it's Crix Tavares calling for it. He makes the catch, reaching over his head. Fantastic defensive play by the new Maple Leafs shortstop. And there's 2 outs in the inning, and all of a sudden the Maple Leafs have a chance to get out of this thing.
Yeah, trying to escape without giving up any damage.
Edgar Figueroa is the right fielder today. He tries to make sure those runs are not stranded out there for the Baycats with 2 outs in the inning. I mean, Ryan Rio has such easy power to hit a sac fly there. That is just best case scenario for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now can Gulko get out of the jam? Figueroa swinging on the first pitch. You like that aggressive approach? I mean, if you're Figueroa right now, yes, first base is open, but I mean, you're here to drive in runs, right?
Yeah, and especially coming off the win the other night. I mean, all the momentum in the world is with Barrie right now. They want to continue to have the bats red hot.
Figueroa has driven in 10 runs this season. The 0-1. And he hits one on the ground. Tavares flips to second base, and now this is going to allow more runs to come in to score. Figueroa is going to go up to second base to come in for the Barrie Baycats. That was an ambitious play by Tavares, the shortstop, to try and flip it to second. He knew he wasn't going to be able to throw to first, and in the end, it ends up being a bit of a mess on the Maple Leafs infield.
And I understand what Tavares is trying to do there. You want to get the ball to try to get out of the inning without giving up a run, but in that case scenario, you got to make sure that your partner up the middle in Manduley is paying attention to what's going on, and Manduley just wasn't expecting it to happen. And it's one of those plays where if you're Tavares, you probably should hold the ball.
Yeah. He did save a run by making that diving stop to stop that ball from going up the middle, but unfortunately ended up flipping it away. Now here's Nolan Machibroda, 2-0 Barrie Baycats. And Machibroda hits a chopper that's going to get through the left side. This inning's going to continue, and the Baycats looking for more. Here's the throw to the plate. It's offline, and it's 3-0 Barrie.
I mentioned Barrie, they're trying to keep the bats red hot, and that's exactly what they're doing here in this inning. Again, you give a team like this an inch, they're going to take a mile, and that's what's going on here now.
Yeah, that changes the game so much for the Maple Leafs. Not necessarily the play at shortstop. I mean, the inning would have continued there anyway, and now we know that run would have come in to score anyway, so it's kind of all a wash in the end. But once again, the Maple Leafs so close to getting out of the inning. Gulko makes the pitch he wants. It's just not hitting the right place, and the Baycats have taken that mile and made it 3-0. Here's the 0-1 to add him on. So Yordan Manduley has played all over the world. He's had a crazy career. How many times in his career do you think that he's had a shortstop try and flip the ball to him to throw it over to first in a play like that?
I'm going to say not a lot, but it is a play that you'd be surprised to see how many times people have actually tried doing. It's one of those things, if you know you're sure-handed up the middle with your second baseman and shortstop, sometimes they have that chemistry.
Obviously, this is a new pairing. Up the middle today for the Maple Leafs, Brando LaRue, the regular shortstop. 1-2 pitches up and away to Adam on, the former Maple Leaf way back in the day.
Well, we discuss how good Barrie is, but they're sending multiple players to the Sears All-Star game.
Odd pops this ball up, and it is foul onto the hillside.
Yeah, so these are all going to be starters in the All-Star game for Barrie. The catcher, Wandy, Ciprian. Outfielder, Canice, Ejoh. Outfielder, Noel, McGarry, Doyle. And starting pitcher, Frank Garces. But you thought that was it? Oh, there's more in the reserves.
2-2 swung on and missed. We'll have to get to that in the next inning. Gulko gets the strikeout. The Barrie Baycats looked like they might strand runners in scoring position, but then they get driven in on a play on the infield for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Barrie takes a 3-0 lead in the first. Well, it is a rare start for Hayden Jaco on the mound. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be facing someone who they haven't seen a whole lot. I mean, maybe Marcus Knecht way back in the day saw some of Hayden Jaco when he was pitching for the London Majors, but this is a bit of a surprise start here on the mound for the Barrie Baycats that the Maple Leafs are facing.
Yeah, and you people at home don't see it, but at the start of the ball game, Mr. West beside me will kind of ask people and be like, hey, who's pitching and all that. And we were informed Hayden Jaco, and you should have seen Thomas West's face. His jaw was dropped.
Yeah, I was surprised. Hayden Jaco, a two-time champion in the Intercounty Baseball League. Both of those against the Maple Leafs. Spencer Ross leading things off.
Career ERA of 2.04.
Check down to first base, no swing. Should correct myself. Jaco is actually only on one of those London Majors teams. One with the Barrie Baycats, of course, a couple seasons ago.
His only time pitching this year was against the Guelph Royals on June 7th. He went 2 2/3 innings, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts.
Just misses outside, and the count's 2-2.
I don't know if you just caught that, but he just switched up arm angles completely. He's
been
going over the top, and right there, he completely went sidearm.
That is expected in the limited pitching that we've seen from Hayden Jaco. He does do that. He'll switch it up. Here's the 2-2. Went sidearm and missed outside.
Looks like he's doing a half Tyler Rogers.
Yeah. Jaco pitched 2 2/3 on June 7th against the Guelph Royals. This will just be his second appearance of the year. The 3-2 pitch, and Ross hits one on the ground. Backhand play by Figueroa. Throw on to first in time to get the out. Should say that's Hernandez there at second.
Yeah, this middle infield here with the Hernandez brothers, it's something to watch. It's spectacular, really, when you see both of them play together. And right there, just another fantastic play on the run.
So here comes Yordan Manduley, the Maple Leafs shuffling the order around a little bit. No Yasiel Puig in the lineup today for Toronto. Manduley takes a strike. Here's the 0-1. It's inside. Jaco coming with that sidearm delivery against Yordan Manduley. That's a tough righty-righty matchup. He's all the way over as far as he can be on his right side of the mound. And now he goes over the top and puts one right by the eyes of Manduley. And that counts 2-1.
It is not easy, especially if he's able to switch it up just like that, pitch to pitch.
Here's the 2-1. Inside it and nearly hit Manduley again. I mean, that pitch isn't too far from the strike zone, but he's just coming from third base when he sidearms it like that. It came right across the front hip of the Maple Leafs second baseman. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Manduley swings at it and fouls it off. Jaco, a full count here on Manduley. And it's inside, goes right by the knee of Manduley, and he takes his walk.
Manduley again, good job just to lay off that pitch there. It's a tough location, just low and inside.
Hayden Jaco has a career ERA of 2.04. Last time he really pitched, as here's a bunt down towards Jaco by Dutton, and the throw on to first is in time. Maple Leafs will move a runner into scoring position.
I was going to say, if there's one player on the mound that can make a bunt defense look easier, it's Hayden Jaco.
Threw 9 innings back in 2021. That was the most he ever threw in a year. But, you know, this is something that's in his repertoire, as the Maple Leafs are going to elect to walk Marcus Knecht here as he heads down to first base. So that's interesting. That'll bring Crix Taveras to the plate. Marcus Knecht has been hot at the plate for the Maple Leafs. The Baycats have their scouting report out in front of them, and they concur with that. So they're going to put him on and take their chances against Taveras.
Yeah, probably also want to just get a force at any base here as well. It's a big thing for them.
Taveras lines one to first on a hop. Play made at first base by Machibroda, and that will end the inning. A hard hit ball by Crix Taveras, but the Maple Leafs strand a couple of runners in the first. It's the Barrie Baycats who have a 3-0 lead here at the pits. Back here at Christie Pitts, Baycats catcher Wandy Ciprian is going to lead things off.
As I mentioned last inning, he's one of the starting All-Stars in the game this year. Then Barrie also has 3 more players in the reserves. It's Braedan Hernandez, Carlos Sano, and Sal Vasquez.
Many fans were wondering whether Yasiel Puig was going to go to the All-Star game. He is one of the reserves for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as well as J.J. Dutton on the position player side of things. Here's the 1-0. Nick Veselinovic, who's had a great season for the Maple Leafs, has got himself into one of the relief pitcher spots as well. Here's the 1-1 to Ciprian, and he fouls it off. Nice catch made there by Braedan Hernandez to track that one down off the fence. He's the on-deck batter. Gulko ahead in the count again. That's been something he's done so far this game. Trying to put away Ciprian. The 1-2, and it's just outside.
Good location. Really like that fastball low and away. Just doesn't get the call in the corner there.
The 2-2. Fouled off. Frankie Gulko has given up 3 runs so far in this game, but Zach, maybe a little bit unlucky to have given up the 3 so far.
Yeah, I think the 1 run, it was definitely going to be earned, and then the second one, or the second 2, I should say, were probably just a little bit unfortunate.
2-2 pitch lined up the middle for a base hit. Wandy Ciprian, a hard hit single to lead off the second.
That was a breaking ball that was going to the outside half, and Ciprian just does a really good job of getting his hands out early and getting the barrel to just punch it right back up the middle.
That's Rob Butler. What the hope was today for Frankie Gulko, obviously a guy who's only started 1 game, and he's had a lot of short relief appearances for the Maple Leafs. He said, kind of tongue-in-cheek, 7 innings is the goal today for Frankie Gulko, so he's going to need to be efficient here in these next 6 innings against the Baycats. He's done a good job of getting ahead of batters, though, so far.
I think that's the key, is just stay aggressive, especially against teams like the Barrie Baycats.
Yeah, Barrie's a team of confident hitters. Maple Leafs have seen this approach before when they play the Baycats. They are not really waiting for pitchers to, beat around the strike zone and walk them. They're ready to swing right away. I think it just kind of shows a confidence in each other and their ability to put the bat on the ball. One and one here on Hernandez after a check at first. And this one's hit on the ground past the outstretched glove of Kirk Gibson. That gets into the outfield. Rounding second base and heading to third is Ciprian. The throw is in late, and the Baycats have runners on the corners to lead off the second.
It's scary when the bottom of the order can consist of these 2 guys, and Ciprian and Hernandez. Again, 2 guys that are going to the All-Star game, 1 starting, 1 on the reserves, but you can just flip it now to the top of the order with terrifying bats of McGarry, Doyle, and Ejoh.
Gary Doyle has that batting average up to .471 on the season. And he takes a first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1.
He grounded out to Tavares his last time up.
Noel McGarry Doyle is way out in front in the batting average lead in the Canadian Baseball League this year, as this one's fouled off. Braedan Hernandez, the runner at first, was on the move on the pitch. Ooh, that one deflected right off of someone's car there. Hopefully that didn't hit the windshield. Looks unscathed. Gary Doyle is in first with his .471 batting average, and then Malik Williams is behind him hitting .431. He's had a great year for Kitchener. As this one's hit on the ground, back to the pitcher, tag applied to McGarry Doyle as he was scampering off of the baseline. That holds everyone where they are. That's a big out number 1 for the Maple Leafs.
And I think they're going to try to appeal that Gulko never touched McGarry Doyle.
Yeah, but
or that it hit off his foot possibly.
That would have to be the only argument because McGarry Doyle was way out of the baseline and never actually got to first.
Yeah, so I think the contest is that it hit off his foot.
But if you're McGarry Doyle there, you kind of have to. So that call is gonna stand as it is. So McGarry Doyle. Oh no, that's gonna be a foul ball. The umpires came together and they agreed with Noel. So back to nobody out in the inning.
And Braedan Hernandez has to scamper on back to first.
He's going to have to go back to first. He's kind of got his sprints in because he was going the pitch before. That was kind of a quick decision, and there wasn't really much argument. So I think all parties kind of agreed that that ball hit McGarry Doyle, a foul ball.
I was going to say, McGarry Doyle was not hustling out of the ball.
Yeah, he knew. The 0-2 pitch just foul tipped. It went off the glove of the catcher, Brandt. And the runner was on the move again, so Hernandez will make his way back to first. It is hot. It is over 30 degrees here at the pits. It's like not too humid, but it's really hot out. So not a time you want to be sprinting back and forth 90 feet. The 0-2 pitch not going this time. The pitch was high. I'm wondering if Gulko might have had that in the back of his mind as he delivered a favorable pitch to throw for his catcher, Matt Brandt. The 1-2. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt, but no swing by McGarry Doyle.
Good block back there by Brandt. Keeps the runners at the corner still.
Here's a throw down to second base, and that one's going to skip past into the outfield. Run comes in to score. It's 4-0 Barrie.
And behind the play, Crix Tavares, he immediately swung off that glove. It looks like the cleat of Hernandez possibly caught him in the glove hand.
So a little bit of concern here for the Maple Leaf shortstop, who's going to have a quick conversation here with Brian Sewell. And
I think his day's done.
He felt something right away. He is walking off the field. So the Maple Leafs already down a shortstop. Crix Tavares, who has been a real bright spot since he's been acquired by the Maple Leafs, is out of the ball game. Here's another look at it. Oh, he looked like it got pinched right under his foot there on the cleat. That is unfortunate.
I think he might be getting some work done on the side right now. We'll wait and see. The trainer is now looking at him.
Do you think he got cut?
And that might have been it. But he walked off immediately, and I think that was kind of the reasoning both of us assumed that he was getting taken out of the ball game. But
well, you know, the good news is it's on his glove hand. Obviously, it would be tough to, you know, play with some kind of a Band-Aid on if you had to throw with that hand. But, yeah, I think you're right, Zach. I don't think he intends to come out of this game. I think they're going to see if they can fix him up quickly.
Also want to mention, looking at the dugout now, I do see Mike Chialtas in the dugout. And obviously it's a good sign that he's here, full uniform. Could have been something during pre-game where he just kind of felt, you know, a little tweak, don't want to risk it possibly just before the game started.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate too much. I think we'll probably just have to figure out after the game. But, you know, we even talked to Rob Butler before the game. They were excited for, you know, everyone was excited to see him get back in the lineup for the Maple Leafs. Okay, so let's see here. Can you see the hand of of Cricks there in the dugout.
Looks like his palm. Palm or wrist, actually. Doesn't look like it's any of the digits.
Yeah, that looks like a Band-Aid, right? That's
Yeah.
not like I sprained something or anything
Let's
like
see,
that.
does he have a smile on his face, or he's good? that's the common tell. You know, if he's making jokes, laughing, he's all right.
This has got to be kind of an awkward situation, though, right? Like, everyone's just...
All I got to say is, who put that pole there? Can't see what we're doing.
Okay, so it looks like it's kind of on his wrist. He's got his wrist bandaged up there. Manduley is going to give him his glove back, and looks like he's going to stay in the game. So, yeah, I wonder if it was just a cut right on that wrist. They got it bandaged up, and he stays in. That is great news for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It looked right away like maybe he had done some more serious damage, but it looks like it was just an exterior wound. Maple Leafs training staff got it bandaged up, and we're ready to get back underway here at the pits.
No, I think it's a 3-2 count as well. Who does this favor? McGarry, Doyle, or Gulko?
Let's see. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, says the umpire at third base. Ball 4. We'll have to call that one a draw. That was that was pretty close both ways. McGarry, Doyle will head down to first base.
I'll bring up Canice Ejoh, who singled and scored in the first inning. I mentioned this a couple games ago when we were talking about home run leaders, but if you haven't seen on social media, Canice Ejoh, he posted something. This was back in March, and he called it the comeback series. This was after it was announced that he was going to be signing back with Barrie, and it's kind of been something that he's been posting every now and then, just documenting his season back here with the Baycats. But it's been a really cool follow. If you're just a fan of CBL baseball, I highly suggest that you tune in. It's on his social media.
Well, he is leading the Canadian Baseball League in home runs, tied with Yushin Oda of the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
I guess you could say the comeback's going pretty well.
Yeah, 8 homers on the year as he takes a strike. 1-1 now.
One of my favorite moments in the original video that he posted, it's the robbery that he had here at Christie Pitts.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Just saw a shot of former Maple Leafs legend John Salazzo there.
Yep. It's a pretty cool highlight package.
Yeah. Gulko making sure he doesn't leave anything over the middle of the plate to the home run leader as he misses high. 2-1. Trent Lenahan has 7. Malik Williams has 7 as well. They're both chasing down Ejoh. A 2-1 swung on and missed. 2-2. Great pitch there from Gulko on the outer half. Here's the 2-2. That one misses outside and the count runs full. Gulko finds himself in back-to-back full counts. Here's the 3-2 to Ejoh. And it's swung on and missed, strike 3. Frankie Gulko gets his first punch out, and it is a big one. 1 out here in the second.
Really good sequence in that at-bat, just completely changing the eye levels of Ejoh. And he ends it with a high fastball.
Francisco Hernandez, the number 3 hitter, steps to the plate. There's the first pitch from Gulko. And he hits one right on the hands. Flip to second for 1. On to first. In time! Double play! Perfect pitch made by Frankie Gulko as he gets Hernandez to ground into the double play, and the Maple Leafs get out of the inning. A little bit of life here for Toronto. See if they can turn that momentum into something. Here's another look at the double play, rated on the hands. And a great play by Spencer Ross to get it over there quickly, and Yordan Manduley will turn those with ease any day of the week. We'll be right back after this.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything.
It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch.
Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.
Dennis DeBanning leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who trail 4-0 here to the Barrie Baycats. Hayden Jaco back on the mound, as we mentioned before, making a start that we did not expect. He's only pitched once this year, didn't pitch at all in 2025. He has 2 2/3 innings, though, in his one outing they had this year, as DeBanning fouls it off. And hasn't given up an earned run yet, so there you go. (0-2) on Dennis. And he takes strike 3 called, and Jaco gets a punch out.
Again, it's just the difference in from the sidearm to the over the top. You don't know what to expect out of Jaco, and it's just so tough.
Yeah, he's trying to be funky out there. So Mike Chialtas, we now know, is the DH today. We thought he was going to be at first, so he is in the lineup for the Maple Leafs. He's in at DH, so getting his first at-bat in a while, and swings at the first pitch and cuts through at strike 1.
Yeah, so it just looks like we were just incorrect. Me and you, not batting 1,000.
Well, it's hard to tell, because when we saw Kirk Gibson, we didn't know if he subbed in for him or what happened. Originally, Ben Sitarenios was the designated hitter today, so we now know that Sitarenios is the one that's not in the lineup for the Maple Leafs. Last at-bat on May 27th for Chialtas. It was actually against the Barrie Baycats. He was injured in that game. Here's the 0-2. Chialtas fouls it off. Mike Chialtas, a hitter that the Maple Leafs have seen be very effective for them in the past. Here's the 0-2. Chialtas takes down and in. Talked to Rod Butler about Chialtas getting back into the game, and he said everybody loves Mike Chialtas. It was a big boost to see him in the lineup today. The 1-2 from Jaco, and Chialtas takes outside. Another good eye, and he's leveled the count at 2s.
Again, he's a guy that has a good eye at the plate, good voice in the locker room as well.
The 2-2. Chialtas fouls it off to the left. He's having a pretty good at-bat. I mean, this is kind of what you want. First at-bat in over a month. You're seeing a lot of pitches. This is a good start either way this at-bat goes.
Getting your timing back and everything as well.
Yeah. Now, this isn't the best guy to get timed up on the mound, but either way, positive signs here for Chialtas. The 2-2. And he gets a pretty good piece of this one, drives one into the outfield, and it is caught on the warning track by Figueroa, and that's the first out of the inning.
Good drive there, opposite field power. I mean, that's what you like to see out of Mike Chialtas. You know he has the power in that bat. It's just something that they've been missing.
Yeah, Chialtas had to reach for it a little bit. And it was a nice running catch in the outfield by Figueroa, who had to go all the way back to the warning track. Here's the catcher, Matt Brandt, and Brandt has been a real bright spot in the lineup for the Maple Leafs as of late. Got that batting average up to 278. I mean, you know, a couple weeks ago he was hitting in the low 200s, but he's just been smashing the baseball. Had 3 hits against the Welland Jackfish last time out. Never easy to hit Ben Abram, too. Came in and got a hit off of him, so some really positive signs at the plate. And maybe there's some solace in the fact that he knows that he has some backup now. He might be able to DH a day or something like that, or maybe get some relief late in the game because Dionysius Chialtas has arrived for the Maple Leafs. He's the backup catcher. The 1-1. Brandt did not get a good look at that one. He kind of checked his swing and went through it.
Yeah, Brandt was on a 4-game hit streak from June 7th to the 17th, and then last time against Barrie on the June 18th, he went hitless. But ever since then, he's been riding another hit streak.
Gets a piece of it, hits it on the ground to Hernandez. He throws to first in time, and that'll do it for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the bottom of the second inning. The Barrie Baycats holding on to a 4-0 lead, and Hayden Jaco, the starting pitcher today, looking solid through 2. Frankie Gulko back on the mound facing Ryan Rio to lead off this top of the third inning. Baycats out to a 4-0 lead. They've scored in each of the first 2 innings so far.
Pretty loud ovation there for Rio.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite. Has got lots of fans in Barrie, especially being a Barrie native. But they travel well here to Toronto as well.
I was going to say the biggest fans he has is down the left field line standing in the bush.
They are big fans of Ryan Rio. That would be the Bushman. Here's the 0-1. And Rio hits one a mile high. Pretty deep, but playable out there in center field as Dutton makes the catch. One away.
And I mean, he missed that ball. You can tell that he missed that ball, but it still carried to the warning track. So much power in the bat of Ryan Rio.
Yeah, he took a huge hack at it, too. He just got under it. I'll bring Edgar Figueroa to the dish. The Canadian Baseball League website gives Barrie Baycats a 78% chance to win this game, so the Maple Leafs need to get a shutdown inning here from Gulko.
I always wonder how they get those percentages.
They actually explain it. You can
Yeah?
look. Yeah, I think you gotta get it on a game that's before the game, but it shows like how every stat is weighted, and I actually agree with all of them. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah, Eric Ciprian from the Hamilton Cardinals has been developing the website, and we've been working out kinks throughout the season, but there's a lot of good ideas put into the website this year. Like the work that he's been doing.
I think one of the funnest ones that I've seen that you showed me, I didn't know it was there. It's you can see like the stats of a hitter, certain ballparks versus righty lefty type things like that. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Here's the 3-1. A strike on the inner half. Figueroa had taken a step towards first base, thinking he'd drawn a walk. Edgar Figueroa hitting .288 on the season this year for the Baycats, and a 3-2 count here with Frankie Gulko. Here's the full count pitch. Inside, and it just might have grazed the inner thigh of Figueroa as well. He draws his walk, and the Baycats have a runner on here in the third.
Third baseman number 20, Nolan Machibroda.
Only one team in the league is not playing tonight. Everybody else in action. Busy night in the CBL. Bottom third, 5-3. Kitchener against Brantford. London is just, again, storming their way. 5-0 in the top fourth against Chatham-Kent.
Ball to the backstop. Matt Brandt has no play down at second base as Figueroa advances. Runner in scoring position for Nolan Machibroda. Good RBI guy for the Baycats. Has driven in 13 runs on the season, but last year, 37 runs batted in for the Baycats. The 1-0. High chopper to the pitcher. Gulko's got to wait for it to get down, but still has plenty of time to underhand flip to first to get Machibroda.
I like that out of Gulko. You take your time, you understand what you have to do on the play, let it come down to you, and don't rush, just flip it over nicely.
Third baseman number 26, Adam Odd.
Adam Odd's going to come to the dish now. He's 0 for 1, struck out in his last at-bat.
If you're curious what's going on in the booth over here, there's a caterpillar on the loose.
Great, good info.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yep. Got to keep you updated with everything that's going on here.
The out-of-town scores were sufficient.
And it's 0-0 against Welland and Hamilton.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Adam Odd went after a high one on the first pitch. Here's the 0-1. Gulko tries to go right back to it, but Adam Odd learned his lesson the first time. Frankie Gulko has 2 strikeouts in the game. One of them is the red-hot Canice Ejoh. The other is Adam Odd. And Sitarenios getting loose in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Here's the 1-1. And it's fouled off. So Sitarenios warming up. That gives us a bit of a picture of why the Maple Leafs changed the lineup last minute. Sitarenios is going to come in to pitch. And so naturally they put Kirk Gibson over at first base. And I mean, why not DH Mike Jaco in his first game back? That seems logical. Here's the 1-2. Odd hits it foul towards first.
Kirk Gibson Frankie Gulko sitting around 57 pitches right now. 35 strikes, 22 balls.
The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Gulko gets another punch out of Adam Odd and gets through a scoreless frame in the third. The Baycats lead 4-0 over the Leafs. Back here at Christie Pitts, Kirk Gibson is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs, facing Hayden Jaco. Zach, he's kind of been dealing so far in this game.
Yeah, Jaco's looked good. He's been throwing heat, but his catcher just threw heat down to second and almost got Jaco.
Yeah, it was the throw down to second base that they do at the end of, that's just how they round out every inning warm up. And I don't know if Jaco, I guess you can't hit your pitcher on the throw back to the mound. You got to get it up a little bit.
Basically a line drive right back to the mound, and Jaco had to protect himself as if it was coming off a bat.
Yeah, it didn't hit him or anything. It hit him in the glove, but could have been worse.
That's why they say pitchers are athletes too.
Here's the 1-1.
Just to keep with the info of around the ballpark, usually you see for the Maple Leafs, the base coaches, Brian Sewell at first, Rob Butler at third. Dennis Bailey standing there at third tonight. I don't know who it is down there at first. It's Demigian? It's Cam. Cam's down there.
There's strike 3 called to Kirk Gibson, 1 away. Jaco dealing right now for the Baycats. So here's the lineup. We now got a confirmation of what it is. The bottom third of the lineup, Mike Giacchetto, Matt Brandt, Kirk Gibson. We were kind of wondering how that was going to all fit in. So there you go. That's the Maple Leafs lineup today. And so we're back to the top of the order with Spencer Ross.
Took a few tries, but we got there.
Ross facing Jaco for the second time. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out last time. That pitch misses outside. 1-1 now on Spencer Ross. Close pitch. Ross hitting .275 on the season for the Maple Leafs. Swings and misses at another good pitch there from Jaco, and it's 1-2.
It's the elevation game right now that Jaco is playing. It's just making it so hard for these hitters to pick up the baseball out of his hand.
Looking for another strikeout here, the 1-2. And it's lined to third, right into the glove of Adam Ott. Good contact from Spencer Ross. He lines out for the second out of the inning.
It's the second hardest contact we've seen off of Jaco tonight. First one being the Giacchetto fly out to right field.
So Spencer Ross is 0 for 2 today. He is riding an 11-game on-base streak. He was doing it with hits earlier on, and then he had to resort to some walks. Now he's only got probably 2 more at-bats for the Maple Leafs to try and keep that streak alive. 1-0 on Yordan Manduley, up into the number 2 spot today. Manduley hits one on the ground, and that one takes a big hop into the outfield. A base hit for Manduley, and the Maple Leafs have a runner on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Maple Leafs' first base hit of the ball game. Jaco was absolutely dealing, like you said, and finally able to sneak one through on that left side.
J.J. Dutton hitting in the number 3 spot. As we mentioned before, no Yasiel Puig, so Dutton moves up 1 spot in the order. He's hit really well for the Maple Leafs and will be going to the All-Star game next week. All-Star game, by the way, is in Chatham. So far, we've had All-Star games in Welland and Hamilton, so it'll be exciting to see what the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers put on. Dutton hits one on the ground to third. Adam Ott has a play. Whips on to first, and it's picked beautifully out of the dirt there by Machibroda. That was a tough ball to scoop, and he did a good job of it. Maple Leafs scoreless. They get their first hit. The Baycats have 4 as we head to the 4th.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. the all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
That's catcher number 21, Wandy Ciprian.
Wandy Ciprian leading things off here for the Baycats in the top of the fourth. Baycats out to a 4-0 lead. Gulko got his first scoreless inning last time out, so trying to have a repeat performance here in the fourth. Wandy Ciprian is 1-for-1 today, came in to score last time. He's hitting .390 on the season. Great production out of the catcher spot. Big reason why he's one of the Baycats going to the All-Star game. The 1-1. Ciprian hits one into the gap. This one is slicing towards the wall and hits the base of it. Good play by J.J. Dutton in center to get to it quickly. That's going to keep Ciprian to a double.
It was a close play there. It looked like there was a little bit of a bobble out there by Dutton. It came off the fence rather hard, but he still kept that play at second close.
Yeah, he didn't bobble it. It just took a weird bounce off of the wall, and it actually was kind of better than the alternative where it kind of stuck up against the wall. Ciprian's got good speed, though. He was able to slide into second base. So here's Brandon Hernandez out of the number 9 spot. And he hits this one straight up, but it's going to hook out a play behind the plate.
Oh, almost had a great play on the hill.
Yeah, good effort. It's tough, though, to make the catch when you're kind of like walking down the hill like that.
Not easy.
Brandon Hernandez is not in the number 9 spot because they want him to have less at-bats. They just kind of want Brandon Hernandez to get on base for Noel, McGarry, Doyle, and Canice, Ejoh, who are at the top of the order. You can tell that by his .338 batting average on the season. Wandy Ciprian is dancing around out there at second base. He's, I think, just kind of testing how good a jump he can get on Frankie Gulko, and the Maple Leafs infield is just kind of unfazed by that. I don't think they think that he's going to head down to third. Runner in scoring position for Brandon Hernandez, who has himself an RBI opportunity. And he hits one on the ground. This one to Yordan Manduley. He flips on to first, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, Hernandez does his job. You just advance the runner 90 feet. Now you have an opportunity with a sac fly to cash in a run if you are Noel, McGarry, Doyle.
And I mean, like, with the caliber of hitters that the Baycats have at the top 2 in the order here, I mean, they just have a really good chance to drive this run in. Maple Leafs, though, trying to hold them. They've got the infield in, and McGarry Doyle is going to flare this one foul and out of play to the left. McGarry Doyle walked in his last at-bat, officially 0-for-1 today, but still has 20 points of batting average between him and Malik Williams, who's chasing him down in the batting average race this year. Check swing tapper foul. That ball ate up McGarry Doyle and got right in on his hands. So the count's 0-2.
That's what you have to do to this top of the order for the Baycats, is just go right after. And we saw Gulko do it against Ejoh and Ejoh's last at bat. Now in a moment like this, you're up against a guy in McGarry Doyle who's so good at just getting on base.
The 0-2. Up and away.
It's the right move there. You go with the elevated fastball, but that time you just kind of got underneath it a little bit too much.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that one's just high. Noel McGarry Doyle is riding a 4-game multi-hit game streak. Got 2 hits against the Royals, Majors, and then the last 2 games that he played against the Maple Leafs. And he swings and misses at that pitch. Strikeout for Gulko, and there's 2 away.
That's a really, really big strikeout for Gulko. Allows your defense to back up and just play for the out at first. And what's also good about it is you get a dangerous hitter in McGarry Doyle out.
Canice Ejoh to the plate. This is where the Baycats need him. Great power, but a base hit into the outfield would give them a 5-0 lead. Swings at the first pitch and comes up empty. Gulko has struck out some high-profile batters in the Baycats order. Ejoh being one of them, and then most recently Noel McGarry Doyle before this at-bat. The 0-1 pitch. And this one's hit to center field. It's dropping, and it gets in front of Dutton in center field for a base hit. And it's a 5-0 lead. Ejoh drives in another run. And the Baycats extend the Maple Leafs deficit.
That's what's just so tough to pitching against this Baycats team. He gets back-to-back outs with Braedan Hernandez and then Noel McGarry Doyle. But you still have to face a guy in Canice Ejoh who can just hurt you in so many different ways. And that time, Ejoh just able to get enough of it to bloop it right into center field.
So that's his 28th RBI on the season. And believe it or not, before tonight, he just had 2 RBIs in his last 6 games. So he's back on the board in that regard. But boy, has it ever been a good season in all facets for Canice Ejoh. The 0-1 pitch to Francisco Hernandez, misses inside. Francisco hitting .273 on the season, 1 for 2 tonight. Check over at first base, and Ejoh gets back in safely.
Well, Ejoh leads the team by a wide margin in the RBI race. The next closest to him was McGarry Doyle at 14.
Yeah, the leadoff hitter. How about that? Here's Ejoh looking for a stolen base, and he is in there. Great tag attempt by Yordan Manduley. The throw was a bit offline. And Manduley a little bit slow to get back to his feet. Look at this tag attempt here by Manduley. The throw offline.
It actually looks like Manduley was a little frustrated. He thought he might have got him here.
Yeah, it was a close play for sure. Tough for the umpire, who would have had it in his head all along that play was going to be safe with the throw, but Manduley made something out of it. Runner in scoring position for Hernandez, and he swings and misses. Gulko gets the punch out and gets out of the inning, but the Barrie Baycats tack on one more. Canice Ejoh, 28 RBIs on the season this time. He does it with the single.
That was a pretty incredible show. That was up there. That would probably be at the top of my list right now. How about you?
Ooh, I haven't traveled out of country for a big time concert, although I did spend a May long weekend in Nashville. Didn't go for a big concert, but Saw a lot of bands that weekend, I'll tell you that much.
A lot of good live music cities in the U.S. Nashville's an awesome one. Austin, surprisingly, they actually call it the live music capital of the world, which is surprising.
Well, Matt Brandt would love to get an at-bat this inning. He has been so good for the Maple Leafs of late. 3 hits last game. We mentioned it was a tough matchup against Ben Abram and the Welland Jackfish, and he's starting to really turn it on. And I mean, Zach, if you think about the catchers around the league, like Wandy, Ciprian, he's probably at the top of the list right now. But I mean, Matt Brandt, the way he's been hitting of late, right up there for the Maple Leafs.
Oh, 100%. I mean, with what he's been doing, especially with the amount that he's had to play here this year, it speaks volumes to just the kind of the player that he is. A guy that throughout the early stages of the season, he took a back seat with the hitting and was just focused on defense. You know, now the hitting is finally coming around. He's still playing elite level defense for this team, and it's just such a nice kind of story to hear.
Yeah. I guess if we're talking, I mean, there are a lot of good catchers in the Canadian Baseball League. Like Andrew Savage comes to mind. He's an all-star for the Brantford Red Sox. You've got guys like Robert Mullen, who the Maple Leafs saw last game. But Matt Brandt is certainly holding his own this year amidst all of those big resumes that you see behind the plate for Canadian Baseball League teams.
You mentioned also he has reinforcements now as well.
Right. I think that will help with Dionysius Chialtas, just a solid player that can give Brandt some relief.
Yeah, Chialtas, like you said, he comes back to the Maple Leafs after taking some time away, and I think one of the best things that you told me here was you were sitting in the broadcast booth and you saw somebody running up the hill with their arms wide extended.
Marcus Knecht hits one on the ground. Tough play at second base for Hernandez. Double clutches and gets him. And that's the first out of the inning. Yeah, so that was before the game. I was, just waiting for Dionysius because we had so many fun moments with him last year. I mean, I remember we had an on-field interview with him during the game, and it was just like one of the best interviews ever. We just had so much fun with it. Anyway, Chialtas is very happy to be back. He's just kind of going around, getting to know everybody. But I saw someone just sprinting up the hill with their arms open. And I was like, who? Like, that's got to be an athlete that's able to do that. And it was Dionysius Chialtas coming up to, just say hello. And it was great to see him again.
Well, we were down in front of the clubhouse. I saw him walk out, and people were going up to him and be like, hey, who are you? What's your name? And he goes, I'm DC, walking around, proud as ever, eating a peach or an apple or whatever it was. But he was proud as ever.
Yeah, so it was an interesting conversation, actually, with Chialtas before the game because he hasn't been, playing for the Maple Leafs for a while, but he has been in the Toronto area helping out a certain Toronto team, as this is a line drive and another play at second base for Hernandez. The ball just keeps on finding him 2 away in the inning. Just to finish that thought, Chialtas has been doing bullpen catching for the Toronto Blue Jays in the area. So apparently the other day, Dylan Cease needed someone to catch his side session, so Dionysius Chialtas went out and caught for him. So that's an exciting chapter that I think Chialtas is kind of trying to open up in his career. And, catchers, there's so many catchers around the league that, get to have these great experiences, right? Like we talked about Matt Ward when he went and ended up being the bullpen catcher for Great Britain at the World Baseball Classic, and he got linked up with him. So nice to see Chialtas, able to, turn the game that he's played his whole life into something that, he can do maybe for a living.
And obviously, the Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs, they have that connection, Sam Green,
right,
in that bullpen as well.
Yeah, who went from pitcher on the mound to pitching coach for the Maple Leafs to assistant pitching coach for the Toronto Blue Jays and took them all the way to the World Series in his very first year doing it.
Really just a fascinating mind. If you ever get a chance to talk about pitching with him, I mean, just truly tremendous to hear him break everything down.
0-2 on Debanning. Jaco trying to get through another scoreless frame, and he just misses. Started walking towards the dugout. Made a good pitch, but Debanning took it for a ball.
Yeah, really picked a really good spot there, and just Debanning even better eye.
The 1-2. Good eye by Debanning. The count's level at 2s. As DeBanning hitting .277 on the year for the Maple Leafs. He's 0 for 1, struck out in his last at-bat in this game. Jaco's 2-2 pitch, and DeBanning takes one the other way. Is this one going to stay fair? No. That ball just kept slicing and slicing and ended up in foul territory.
Again, it's just another one of those swings where he's a little bit late. And we've seen that not just from DeBanning, but from really everybody here so far. They're having a really tough time picking up the ball out of the hand of Jaco.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you do. He's switching up the speed of his delivery. He's throwing from different arm slots. This is working for him tonight. DeBanning fouls another one off, another late swing.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like the swings are comfortable right now. You kind of just have to guess of, you know, what pitch is coming and what arm slot is coming.
Gets his sign, now delivers another 2-2 pitch to DeBanning, who hits one on the ground. This one's to short. Brandon Hernandez, throw on to first in time. A 1-2-3 inning for Hayden Jaco, who is dealing tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs through 4.
Guys, over there.
It's like me doing a goal kick, kicking with the toe, as that one's going to get in and clip Scansey, and he'll take a base.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky that that one didn't drill him square in the ribs. It just kind of grazed him on the way by. A fastball, and Scansey just able to scooch out of the way of trouble, and another hit batter tonight for the Panthers. That's the third that they've got aboard after getting drilled with a pitch.
I can tell you that somebody went into the Brantford Red Sox bullpen to start stretching a bit, so no throws as of yet. As Fuji puts one into center field. Another single here for the Panthers.
Great job from Fuji hopping on that fastball over the heart of the plate. And it's one of the tough things about facing a pitcher like Axel Rosario. As much as you want to be selective, knowing that he has trouble finding the strike zone, he might also throw you a nice firm fastball down the heart of the plate. And those are the kind of the pitches that Fuji loves to jump on. Just
Welcome back here to Domenico Fields. Baycats coming back up to bat here in the 5th. It's Rio, Figueroa, and Machibroda due up. Ryan Rio so far on the night, 0 for 2. He popped out to center field his last time up, but it was a ball that he just missed. This time, lifts a foul ball down the left field line. Frankie Gulko, around 78 pitches. 4 innings pitched so far, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts to only 2 walks. He is really commanding the zone. Fastball misses high there. You take out the first inning where things kind of unraveled a little bit against the Maple Leafs, and it's been a really good outing for him. He's given up 2 runs. Here's the 1-1 to Rio, and he's going to watch that one in the dirt. Gulko has been fighting really all night long as Rio ground ball to Manduley at second. He'll take his time, throw to first in time to retire Rio. There's one away. Barrie has 5 runs on 8 hits. Maple Leafs only 1 hit tonight. They also have 2 errors made. It's just been hard figuring out the pitching style of Hayden Jaco. Fly ball lifted deep left center field. It's carrying. It's at the wall, and it's Dutton running it down to make the grab. Edgar Figueroa gave it a ride, but Dutton covering a lot of ground to get to that one. It's a long out, number 2.
First base number 20, Nolan Machibroda.
Machibroda steps up now and quickly, I believe on 4 pitches, there's 2 outs now for Frankie Gulko. Machibroda watches that one in the dirt for ball 1. .53 strikes to 30 balls on the night here for Frankie Gulko. 0-1 to Machibroda is high and inside. Excuse me, 2-0 now. Foul tip right there from the Baycats first baseman.
Argentina won.
Thank you.
2-1 here to Nolan Machibroda. It was the John Cena music, and then I just came back.
I was going to say, the John Cena music really threw me off there for a second.
3-1 now. And that one misses outside, ball 4. You know, I kind of enjoy taking my little
your little break.
My little expeditions around the field. I'm not doing it on purpose. I usually just have to go fix something, but that was just a cool angle to see that running catch by Dutton in center field. Things look so much different. Like, we would call the game so much differently if we were sitting down right behind home plate. Like, it's crazy to see how much harder the ball looks when you're standing right there than when you're looking at it from any other angle. As this one's hit well to left, Banning on it, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. He retires Adam Odd. A scoreless inning for Frankie Gulko. It's a 5-0 Barrie Baycats lead here at the pits.
Rosario out of this game fairly quickly. It's not only what it does for the Panthers tonight, but also what it does for them tomorrow. Remember, you're facing this exact same team. If you can wear out their bullpen and make them use a lot of arms tonight, Pete Kiefer and the Panthers should be in the driving seat tomorrow afternoon at Arnold Anderson Stadium.
Another adventure there for Andrew Savage just to get in front of that baseball.
Also interesting to see how Jorge Magnetti does tomorrow in his second start in the league after such an impressive showing last week in Welland against the Niagara Longcocks.
Here comes the 1-1. That one's going to miss high and away. I wonder how many. I don't know if that's a one-off that they're going to be doing this season, but I'd imagine that they'll bring the Longcocks back at some point.
I mean, it's pretty.
Oh, look at the Canadian Baseball League standings. The London Majors are on top, but if they lose today, which it doesn't look like they are based on the out-of-town scoreboard, and the Barrie Baycats win, they would be tied with them for first place in the Canadian Baseball League. So it's London and Barrie and, well, Welland, I guess, as well, who are kind of the class of the league this year. But, Zach, the Maple Leafs, the plan is, like, very simple if they want to make the playoffs right now. Difficult, but pretty well explained in the standings right there. You just got to catch Guelph. That's the goal right now.
And it's tough because Guelph has been one of the hotter teams in the league as of late.
It could be Hamilton too,
Yeah,
but right now
it's a three-headed race really between London, Barrie, and Welland. And then you kind of have the middle grouping of Hamilton, Guelph. Brantford has actually started to heat up, and the run that Kitchener has been on with Malik Williams doing what he's doing out there. Chatham-Kent looked like they were going to be a team to contest, but they have just been on a cold spout. 2-8 in their last 10.
The 0-2 pitch to Mike Chiquetto, and that one misses low from Jaco. So the Leafs on a management side of things kind of, have a vision laid out of what needs to happen and a plan to, make it into the playoffs, which is basically win some of the games against tough teams like this one here tonight against Barrie. As the 1-2 to Mike Chiquetto. High chopper. This one's to short. Hernandez has it. Throws to first to get Mike Chiquetto. And that's the first out of the inning. The second part of the plan is basically win every single game against teams that are not in a playoff position right now, which they have quite a few of them. The schedule's been tough to start the year, so you can balance that out a little bit. But the Maple Leafs, if they wanted to be in a playoff spot right now or in contention, they would have needed to win a couple of those games against teams that were lower early in the season. But that's kind of the plan. And on the player side of things for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they just aren't thinking about any of that at all, don't care about the standings. It's just, let's just go out and try and win tonight. That's going to be their goal every single time that they play. And so, they got their work cut out for them. That's basically what it is right now. They're 4-14 on the season, the Maple Leafs.
A little win streak will go a long way for them in the next little bit here.
This one's right back to the mound. It gets under the glove of Hayden Jaco into center field, and Matt Brandt stays hot for the Maple Leafs.
Right, he extends his hit streak to 6 straight games. He has been red hot.
Yeah, he's been excellent. And to think that he's doing this all, we've all talked about, Chialtas coming to the team. Right now he's absolutely in a backup role. But, Matt Brandt started the season with no competition, right? There's always internal competition on teams. He had no competition, so, whatever he did, he knew he was going to be the starting catcher. Now he knows that Chialtas is kind of on the horizon of coming into the team, and, the pressure's maybe turned up a little bit, and he's playing even better. That's what makes it even more impressive.
And that'll always open the eyes, of a coach or a manager. Just they see that and they think, you know what, we know this guy has the talent. We just have to give him a little push. They do exactly that, and he's proving them right.
Kurt Gibson struck out in his last at-bat. Now gets another chance here against Jaco. The 1-1. Gibson, a huge swing. He was swinging for the fences there and cut right through it. Hayden Jaco, by the way, dealing tonight. He struck out 2, walked 2. He's openly given up 2 hits through 4 1/3. Maybe we see Ben Sitarenios on the side of the Toronto Maple Leafs next inning. Gulko has got through 5. Gibson breaks his back, rounds 1 1/3. Adam Maud goes the short way to second to get 1. On to first, and it's too high. I think the speed of Kurt Gibson was going to beat that one out anyway. It's a fielder's choice on the infield.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. He is out in front of it, breaks the bat, and just has to hustle down the line to hopefully not get doubled up.
Spencer Ross comes to the plate with 2 outs in the inning, and Maple Leafs might be afraid that Hayden Jaco is going to roll through another clean inning here with 2 away. Ross takes a strike. The Maple Leafs might have been licking their chops a little bit when they saw, a pitcher that hasn't pitched very much at all in the Canadian Baseball League at the beginning of the season. But, I think you got to give some credit to Hayden Jaco tonight. He's been dealing so far.
Yeah, he's looked really, really good.
Ross hits one on the ground to short. And it's a flip between the Hernandez brothers that nearly pulled Francisco off the bag, but he's able to keep his foot on to get the force out. And that'll end the inning. Hayden Jaco scoreless through 5. The Baycats in the lead.
Get ready, Chatham Kents. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Kents, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Justin, I've been in this league since 2019. You've been around for the last number of seasons. I've never seen a player from Finland in the CBL or IBL in its previous forms, but Karika is a Finnish-born player, and he is on the mound for Chatham Kent here.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, we get a lot of players internationally, a lot of from the Dominican, Puerto Rico, a lot of U.S., even across the nation, West Coast to East Coast. Yeah, not a lot from over in Europe. So Finland is a very, very interesting one to see. Obviously some great baseball being played. You think back to the World Baseball Classic and some of the great performances we saw there.
That pitch misses, 2-1. Just off the plate outside from Karika. The 2-1 pitch upstairs, 3-1 now to Babiak. Looking to get aboard for the first time. Strikeout and a sac bunt in the ball game.
Karika struggling when it comes to hits so far. 20 given up in 11 2/3 innings. It's led to a bit of an inflated ERA.
Ben Sitarenios comes into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is going to be doing the pitching today. Got a start against the Welland Jackfish last game for the Maple Leafs in the field. And now he's out there on the mound for the Maple Leafs. And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
The book on Frankie Gulko is done. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He threw 89.
And this one is crushed to center field, and it is gone. Wandy Ciprian goes to dead center field. It was a no-doubter off the bat, and it's 6-0 Barrie.
Well, he scored already twice today, hits in his first 2, and that time there was no doubt about it. Just a smoking shot right over the concession stand.
Yeah, that cleared the left field brewery tent out there in center. That was well out of the ballpark.
And if you're keeping track at home, ladies and gentlemen, triple shy of the cycle now.
Yeah, he's been hitting the ball well. Brandon Hernandez hits a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And he's aboard after the Ciprian home run. That brings Noel, McGarry, Doyle. Mentioned the hit streak that he has going. Not a long one, but it's a multi-hit streak, if that makes sense. He doesn't have one yet today, so he's looking to get on the board. And this time he bunts. It's a pretty good one. Ross throws to first in time. Nice play by the Maple Leafs third baseman, but job done. It does advance the runner.
Job done there, advance a runner up 90 feet. And this is what this team can do. They're very much okay with just kind of the next man up mentality because, again, of how deep this lineup actually is.
Canice Ejoh, who's also hit well today, 2 for 3s, driven in a run. Tough task here for Sitarenios, who has 1 out in the inning. Swings through the first pitch. Ejoh has swung at the first pitch in almost all of his at-bats today. And Maple Leafs pitchers just keep climbing the ladder with a fastball to lead things off. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball at the knees. 0-2. Good start to the at-bat for the new pitcher for the Maple Leafs. Sitarenios tries to climb the ladder again. That time misses and counts 1-2. That one in the dirt, skips away from Matt Brandt. That's going to allow the runner to move up an extra 90 feet. Brandon Hernandez now at third base.
Just how about this again? Can he see Ejoh come to bat with an opportunity with a runner in scoring position?
Yeah, and working himself back into the count. Corners are now in for the Leafs. Ejoh swings and misses. Sitarenios gets his strikeout.
Big strikeout of a really important bat in this lineup.
Braedan Pakkala getting loose now in the bullpen for the Baycats. So meeting on the mound here between Sitarenios and Brandt. You know, one of the things that Dionysius Chialtas was saying, being a catcher that's kind of joining the team mid-season, is getting to know the team, and that's something that Matt Brandt has done really well. You know, I've talked to some of the coaching staff, and they've said he's done a really good job just kind of getting to know his pitchers, because that's a big deal, and there's been a lot of different pitchers that have been on the Maple Leafs as well, but you got to kind of know each and every one of them. But you'd have to imagine that Sitarenios, a guy who hasn't pitched too much for the Maple Leafs this season because he's a two-way player, is someone that Matt Brandt just wants to make sure that he's on the same page with.
Yeah, make sure you're not getting any mixed signs, signals crossed up. It's the last thing you want, especially with how good Brandt has been in the last little bit.
Here's the 1-0. That one misses upstairs. This has been the game of both teams pitching guys that, you know, are either in situations that they're not used to or just situations that they're not usually in at all, with Hayden Jaco starting the game on the side for the Baycats, Gulko getting a second start for the Maple Leafs, and now Sitarenios, the two-way player, coming in to get a rare pitching appearance.
This is really interesting. I actually didn't notice this. Matt Brandt isn't giving standard signs to Sitarenios.
What's he doing? 3-0 pitch fouled off, green light there for Hernandez.
So if we keep it here, you'll see he doesn't just put down, you know, the traditional one outside. Brandt actually kind of goes through a sequence, it looked like. He did it the last couple of times. Let's see if he does it here. Yep.
Huh.
I have never seen that before.
Good catch. That is fascinating. So that pitch is in the dirt. This one's going to skip away. And the runner at third base, Hernandez, is going to hold his ground.
Now, I don't know if he's been doing that all night or if this could just be something for Sitarenios where, you know, it's just more comfortable for him to do that.
Well, you know.
It might be for Sitarenios. So just going back, looking at the game on YouTube, just rewinding, Brandt's just putting down normal signs there earlier in the ballgame.
As this one is fouled off. You know, I don't want to, you know, use myself as an example because I'm just not a good baseball player, but, you know, I had a problem a couple of years ago where I couldn't see the signs. Like, as soon as the sun went down and you kind of get those shadows on top of the catcher, it becomes really hard to see. As that one's outside, ball 4. Hernandez Francisco Hernandez is going to head down to first base. Yeah, so sometimes you see, like, you know, the colored fingernails on the catchers. You know, as the game goes on, you know, your hand is full of dust and whatnot. Anyway, just a couple of ideas.
I've seen, you know, a catcher do the signs that Brandt's doing now when it's, you know, runners on the corner, they're trying to set something up. Like, we might see something here. But just for pitch by pitch, it's kind of fascinating to see.
That one's a fastball. Runner's on the move. Throw it on to second base, and it's going to skip away, and a run comes in to score. The Barrie Baycats were trying to take home there anyway on the throw down, and now there's some confusion at second base. Josh Matlow has come out of the gate right away. As it stands right now, the Baycats have scored a run.
I think it's more so just a check on Francisco Hernandez. He took a second to get up there, just shaking some dust off the pants. Looks like he'll be okay, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was just weird because Josh Matlow, I mean, instantly came sprinting out of the dugout. Like, saw something right away and, like, made a beeline towards second base. Let's see if we can see anything here.
Oh, Hernandez, he was down for a little bit after the play. He stayed down.
Yeah, he got hit with the ball.
Yeah, and that's all it is. They're just checking on to make sure that he's okay.
He's fine. Good sprint there, though, by Matlow. He
hard 90.
He made a beeline out there to second base.
Always got to respect when a coach pulls off the hard 90.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard at 90, but he got there efficiently. All right, so runner at second. That'll go down as a stolen base of second and home for the Baycats. They have a 7-0 lead. Ryan Rio trying to keep it going. And the pitch from Sitarenios misses outside. Now the count's 2-0. Huge swing there for Ryan Rio. He was trying to send that ball into orbit and came up empty.
0 for 3 so far on the night. He grounded out to second base his last time up.
Two and one. Another runner on the move and another stolen base for the Barrie Baycats.
Well, when it comes to stolen bases, Francisco Hernandez for the Baycats is the #1 thief. He had 13 coming into tonight, and I believe that he just got 14 and 15.
Yeah, and his brother Brandon stole one earlier in the inning. So the Baycats are running, and not just running, but picking great pitches to do it on as well. This one's hit on the ground, dive by Kirk Gibson at first, and it's by him into the outfield. It's an 8-0 lead for the Barrie Baycats as Ryan Rio drives one in with a single.
Well, he's been hitting the ball hard really all night long, and it was kind of a matter of time when he would get one on the board, and he comes through in a moment here.
Baycats opening things up in the 6th here at the pits. And we've got a pinch hitter into the game as well, as Clayton Keys is going to get an at-bat here for the Baycats. And that pitch from Sitarenios is to the backstop, and even Ryan Rio is going to be able to take that bag at second base, as that one just slipped out of the hand of the pitcher Sitarenios.
But he was hustling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sitarenios might be starting to feel a little bit of fatigue out there on the mound. I mean, that one looked like he just lost the grip on the baseball. It was way over the catcher Brandt to the backstop. Brian Sewell coming out to try and calm down his pitcher. Clayton Keys has had a good season for the Baycats in 37 at-bats. He's hitting .316 on the year. There's the 1-0 pitch to him, and he hits a hard line drive into the outfield. That's down for a base hit. Rio getting the stop sign at third base. It's first and third with 2 outs for the Baycats, and a pinch hit knock for Clayton Keys.
And that might spell the end of the day for Sitarenios.
Yeah, just wasn't able to battle through the 6th inning here. And Rob Butler has made a call to the bullpen.
Run. Fouls this one off. It's 0-1.
The Majors clearly have been doing a pretty good job offensively. To put it in a bit of perspective, right now the team is in 2nd when it comes to OPS on the year so far. Chatham-Kent in 3rd in OPS, so it shows just how good their offense can be. I've said it multiple times, it's the pitching side that has struggled through 2026. Their combined ERA is good enough for 6th in the CBL.
1-1 count here on Ejoh. The offering. Ejoh gives this one a ride to center field, but right at Austin Gurney, who makes the catch, and there's one away.
So an out, but a pretty loud out. Every single one of Ejoh's at-bats have been pretty impressive. Always raising some red flags out there towards the outfield, keeping them on their toes. Always showing the power. Doesn't always get the results he wants, but he's already flexed the power today with that big homer back in the 3rd.
Starling Joseph now to the batter's box for the Majors with 1 out in the 7th inning. Lenahan still aboard at first. First pitch to Joseph misses for ball 1. The 1-0. Off the plate outside, 2-0.
Graham Sim into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs as he tries to get them through this 6th inning. 8-0 Barrie Baycats. First batter he'll face is Nolan Machibroda. And he just misses with the first pitch upstairs. Here's the 1-0 to Machibroda. And that one's in there for a strike. Graham Sim stands at 6'4" on the mound, 23 years old, out of Newmarket, Ontario. Here's the 1-1 to Machibroda. And it's off the end of the bat, foul back to the backstop. Graham Sim gets his fastball into the upper 80s, uses that long, lanky delivery to whip the ball to home plate.
Really a young arm here for the Leafs as well, 23 years of age. Like you mentioned, 6'4", he's just able to get that extension far down the mound.
That pitch was in the dirt. Good block there by the catcher, Matt Brandt. That was necessary. With runners on the corners. Sim just misses low to Machibroda, and the count runs full. Graham Sim has an ERA just over 4 on the season in 6 1/3 innings pitched. All of them have been in relief for the Maple Leafs. He's been one of the reliable arms out of the pen for Toronto. Here's the 3-2. And this one struck well to center field, back at the wall, and this ball is gone. Nolan Machibroda, a 3-run home run, and the Barrie Baycats lead 11-0.
Again, this is a team that's been riding hot momentum as of late. They had that walk-off win against Guelph, and, well, the Bats just stayed red hot here tonight. 11 runs, and we are only partway through this ball game.
What a swing there from Machibroda. Got a 3-2 pitch and just hammered it out to center field. It has been all Baycats so far tonight. Wonder if Hayden Jaco's coming back to the mound after this extended inning. Boy, has he ever had a good start. One out at Ahmad. That one misses outside 2-0. Huge swing and a miss there by Odd. Sim gets himself a strike, and it's 2-1. A couple of scores happening around the league. 13-3 lead for Kitchener over Brantford. That game's in the bottom of the 5th. This one hit on the ground. Nice snag there by Sim. He has an underhand flip to first base, and that'll end the inning. But it was a long one for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Baycats have opened up an 11-0 lead here in the 6th.
Get ready, Chatham Kents. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The All-Star weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Pitch to pitch, moment to moment, it is getting darker and darker here in London, Ontario. Those clouds looking pretty ominous at this point.
2-1. Thus 1 for 3 in the ball game. Pitch from Karika. Called strike, 2-2. Thus didn't like it, thought it was outside.
From up here, it looks like I can understand Thus's thoughts a little bit. That one looked pretty far down and away out of the zone, but good pitch right on the corner in any case.
2-2. Thus fights it off, stays alive. We'll try again on 2-2.
Good idea from Karika. Looked like a very similar pitch. If you got the strike call, might as well go back there a second time, but good adapting from Thus to fight that one off.
2-2, 2 out, 2 on here for the Majors. Pitch on its way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Thus chases outside the zone, and Karika will strand 2 runners. Still 6-0 Majors as we move to the 8th here at Labatt Park.
To be the best, you've got to bring performance from every second. The game is getting faster every season. So Rawlings made a time machine to help you keep up.
Maple Leafs down by a boatload here against the Barrie Baycats, who bring in a new pitcher, Braedan Pakkala, who we've seen warming up for the last couple innings. He was warming up when this game was in a little bit of a different situation, so now the Barrie Baycats are just going to stick with him. And we've seen him go multiple innings here at the pits, so I'm sure they would love if he could finish out this ball game. First pitch swinging is Yordan Manduley, and he fouls the ball back. Hayden Jaco went 5 scoreless innings, and what we have to imagine was a fill-in start.
And what a fill-in start it was. I mean, scoreless work out of Hayden Jaco.
Here's the 1-1. And that one's fouled off.
Maple Leafs have the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. Manduley, Dutton, Knecht. Just trying to get any offense they can. This time against the lefty in Pakkala. Manduley lifts this high, but out of play, foul. I'll tell you one thing. The soundboard operator is having a fantastic night. Heard the Taco Bell dong about 9 times. 2-2 count here. Pakkala delivers to Manduley. And Yordan Manduley doing what he does best, just bat to ball. This is sky high. Over to first. Catch is made, and Manduley put up a fight, but he'll be retired there by Machibroda.
Yeah, extended at bat. I guess, one goal for the Maple Leafs could be trying to run up the pitch count here for Pakkala and see if they can't, get him out of the ball game and get through a couple of relievers and see if they can put a couple runs on the board. One out here in the 6th, J.J. Dutton, who swings and misses. Dutton takes a strike and it's 0-2. J.J. thought that pitch might have been low or outside. The 0-2. That one fouled off. JJ battling here. The 0-2 from Pakkala. He takes just outside. One and two on Dutton. Fouls another one off. Braedan Pakkala has pitched 15 and 2/3 innings now on the season, has an ERA of 5.87. Dutton hits a line drive to shortstop, and it's caught on the fly by Hernandez, out number 2.
Couldn't have pieced it any better than that was Dutton. A really nice clean swing through the zone, but Hernandez at short just makes the grab.
This would also be a big outing personally for Braedan Pakkala. He was cruising to start the season, had 5 straight scoreless outings, and then came up against the Toronto Maple Leafs on June 19th. They got him for a couple of runs, which was surprising because he'd been so dominant all season, and he's hasn't been able to get through a scoreless outing since then. So Maple Leafs, Pakkala trying to get back on track to where he was at the beginning of the season, because the Barrie Baycats see him as one of their trusted relievers down in the pen.
We got to keep a tally of how many times the ball has gone away from a pitcher here for the Baycats.
Yeah.
A couple of overthrows.
Well, Wandy Ciprian is a hit shy of the cycle, so can't blame him for those throws back to the pitcher. This one's hit on the ground. Foul by Marcus Knecht. Knecht hit the ball well to second base in his last at-bat.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Well, While you were busy fixing everything, I was saying this is sound operators having a
Yeah,
ball of a night.
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, it's it's been interesting. The 0-1 to Marcus. Swung on a missed. Marcus Knecht is one of the Maple Leafs hitters that looks like he's starting to get back on track. Hitting .265 on the season. The 0-2 pitch from Pakkala. And Knecht takes strike 3 called on the inside corner, and that will end the inning. Pakkala gets through a 1-2-3 scoreless frame after the Barrie Baycats made it 11-0 in the top of the 6th inning. The Maple Leafs are down to their final 9 outs here at the pits.
The offering on its way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Springer allows the first 2 runners to reach, sets down the next couple. And the Majors are through 8 innings, continuing to lead by 6 runs.
What a job from Springer to keep the momentum going for the Majors. Picking up where Travis Keys left off and being pretty well efficient, to say the least. Obviously, a couple base runners. Can't really put that on Springer too much. A great effort from him. We're starting to get to the late portions of this game, and Chatham-Kent still itching for their first run of the ball game.
Majors headed back to the bats and looking to run the bases just as well as these kids did. Now we are getting a POV camera here of one of the kids running the bases. It is carnage. How are you supposed to dodge all these children that have fallen? My goodness. Oh, looking back, anything there? Might have lost a shoe, who knows? Touching second base, well done, young child. I have no idea who this kid is, by the way. We've just got a POV on their head. Totally missed third base, running down the line, trying to score, talking to a friend, has home plate in their sights. Safe.
There we go.
What a job.
2 for 4 on the base paths this evening.
Impressive stuff. Love an angle like that. Cool that we're able to bring.
No, Graham Sim closed out the 6th for the Toronto Maple Leafs and is back on the mound facing Wandy Ciprian, who, as you mentioned, Zach, is on cycle watch tonight. Could be a fun thing to watch for.
New catcher into the ball game for the Maple Leafs, Dionysius Chialtas.
So this will be the first catcher to play that's not Matt Brandt all season for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And Matt Brandt, well deservingly so, laying on the athletic table getting a massage.
Yep, that is awesome.
Well deserved.
Great stuff. Yeah.
You can't see, you can see the legs there. He is relaxed.
Yeah, it has been a long season so far for Matt Brandt in terms of playing time. Here's the 1-1. That pitch swung on and missed. Good spot there from Sim. And the count's 1-2.
I actually think I take that point back. I think Brandt's out in the bullpen. I think that's Jaco.
Oh.
On the athletic table.
Is it?
I think that's Jaco.
Oh my goodness. So now he's the bullpen catcher. Great.
No rest for the wicked.
Here's the 1-2. This one's fouled down the line.
There he is.
Yeah. Oh no. We should have noticed, since Jaquetto's pants aren't dirty. He's the DH today. He's the guy.
The thing that caught my eye, I saw a leg guard on. I was crushing. I was like, why is Matt Brandt still have his leg guard on?
Yeah. Here's the 1-2. Mike Jaquetto is actually in the mix as one of the backup catchers. Obviously with Chialtas, his services won't be needed anymore behind the plate. But that's unbelievable. I wonder how many teams have gone with one catcher for every single inning for that long to start a season. Probably not many. The 2-2. Fouled off.
I don't know consecutive, but I know that out in Guelph they had Matthew Ward.
Yeah.
Basically catching everything. They subbed him out once or twice with Boscarino coming in. But other than that, it has been just a heavy dose of Matt Ward.
Then the third string catcher is Damon Toppoli right there in Guelph. This one is skied straight up who's going to call it? It's Crix Tavares who comes over and takes charge, one away. First out of the inning, recorded by Sim.
Shortstop number 11, Brandon Hernandez.
This ball is fouled off to the left. Sim misses outside with the 0-1 pitch. And then another one that looks like it kind of slipped out of his hand. That counts now 2-1.
Yeah, went with an off speed and it just popped out of the hand, stayed up.
Barrie Baycats trying to string 2 wins in a row and take over first place again in the CBL standings as Hernandez fouls another one off. Bad news though on the out-of-town scoreboard. It's a 6-0 lead for the London Majors, who currently hold that top spot. They're playing the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Brantford scored a little bit more, 13-5 now. 2-2 in Hamilton and Welland.
Yeah, the Jackfish have recently evened things up in the 8th. 2-2 from Sim, and this one's fouled back onto the hill. Yeah, Maple Leafs want to see the top teams kind of dominate everybody right now. Like if Welland, Barrie, London just went ahead and won the rest of their games, that would be a scenario that would really help Toronto. Hamilton is one of those teams that the Maple Leafs are trying to catch. Sim misses outside, and like he looks down at his hand again, like he's just not getting a good grip on the baseball here in this at-bat against Hernandez. Sim's 3-2, and it's fouled off by Brandon Hernandez again towards his own dugout. The 3-2. One hopper to short. Gonna be a long throw for Crix Tavares, but he makes it in time to get Hernandez running down the first baseline, and there's 2 away. Crix Tavares has actually had some plays at shortstop, which he hasn't done. He hasn't played this season for the Maple Leafs, but he's made some good plays. Like that one was one where, you know, just kind of a spinner coming towards him and had to take it on a hop and then throw quickly onto first base.
He's looked good. He had the diving play up the middle. I think the biggest takeaway for him so far has just been that play to try to flip it to Manduley. But other than that, he's looked very solid.
Another pinch hitter, Noah Hull, into the game for the Baycats. Hull has had 39 at-bats on the season. He's hitting .282. He's homered 4 times. Hull a check swing at that pitch from Sim, and he didn't go around. Noah Hull doesn't play every day, but he's actually 3rd on the Barrie Baycats in home runs, tied with Nolan Machibroda.
Maybe he can find a hole there to start playing a little bit more.
Yeah. Ejoh, as we mentioned, has 8. Francisco Hernandez has 5. The 2-1 pitch. Big cut by Hull, and he fouls it off to the left. But that's a nice bat to have on your bench. Like, that's the kind of bat that can win you a championship when you need a pinch hit and a little bit of power. Here's the 2-2 to Hull. Nice stat fed to us there by our graphics aficionado, Gus Cousins. Eduardo Doyle has actually caught every game this season as well, so now he's the lone standing catcher that has that feat, the London Majors catcher. And Noah Hull has hit number 5. That is way out of here onto the Little League Diamond. He's now second on the Barrie Baycats in home runs, and it's 12-0.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Crushed. It was a hanger, and he smoked it.
That was landed right around the pitching mound in the outfield. So a couple home runs now off of Sim, and now here comes Canice Ejoh trying to add to that tally. And Ejoh strikes one pretty well. This one's down the line and foul. Wouldn't have got out of the ballpark anyway as it landed on the warning track. So a long out, but just a loud strike, 0-1 on Ejoh. Who takes the next pitch that was just outside. Brantford Red Sox are starting a comeback here against Kitchener. They've brought it to now 10 runs. 13-10 is the score, after it was a resounding lead by Kitchener. I was about to say 7, and then they actually just put up 3 on the board just like that as I was reading it out. Here's the 1-2 to Ejoh.
I looked earlier when it was 13-3, and there was only 2 home runs hit, both by the Brantford Red Sox.
Well, you can stay right here. We'll give you a look at some of the out-of-town games as Graham Sim gets the punch out. 12-0 Baycats after the home run by Hull.
One ball, one strike, 2 out here in the inning. Bernie at third, Dreyers at second, and Christian Enoa gives this baseball a ride to left field. He's got 2 tonight. This one's a grand slam. Christian Enoa, never bothered by any rain, sends this one way out to left field. His second long ball of the night.
I hate
and
to
the
pull
Majors
on,
are up by double digits.
Hate to pull on some cliches, but I guess when it rains, it pours. What a hot shot. Barnstormers left the door open again. Some tough pitching in a few of their matchups. And it cost them pretty heavily today from a 6-0 lead to a 10-0 lead late in this ball game.
Starling Joseph into the batter's box now for the Majors. Second grand slam in as many weeks for the Majors. The last one hit by this man, Starling Joseph.
Late in the game, bases loaded situation. I can almost guarantee that Starling Joseph is a little upset that he didn't get a shot at it, a good crack at it.
He gives this one a ride to left field, but doesn't quite have the distance. Grayson Barrett is over, and he makes the grab to end the inning. Well, Christian Enoa has 2 home runs tonight, the most recent of which was a grand slam to give the Majors a double-digit lead. It's 10-0 London as we head to the 9th on a rainy night at Labatt Park.
A 12-0 lead for the Barrie Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Crix Tavares, who's the shortstop today. Maple Leafs missing some of their firepower in the lineup. No Brando LaRue, no Yasiel Puig, and are trying to get a run on the board here against Pakkala. Earlier it was Hayden Jaco who was mowing down Maple Leafs. So Tavares is filling in at shortstop today for Toronto. Crick swings and misses at that breaking ball, and he's behind the count 0-2. And that's strike 3 called. Pakkala paints the inside corner with a backdoor breaking ball, and that's the first out of the inning.
Pakkala, since coming in, has been efficient. Sat down the side in order and proceeds to get another strikeout looking here.
Dennis Tabanning hits one well, deep to right field, and it's caught on the warning track by Figueroa. A long out by Dennis Tabanning as he took that ball the other way. Well, the Maple Leafs don't have a whole lot of hits today and are trailing by quite a bit, but one thing that they would love to see is Mike Jaco get a base hit in his first game back since May. Played the first couple games of the season, got injured, and is back in the lineup today, which was an exciting thing for everyone in the Maple Leafs lineup. Swings and misses at that pitch, and the count's 1-1. It looks like we're going to see Kyle Poapst into this game as well. He's another two-way player for the Maple Leafs, but he's been mostly used as a pitcher recently. Jaco hits one down the line, foul into the Maple Leafs bullpen.
All I'm seeing with Poapst warming up is that Mr. Brandt is there catching him.
Is he? Oh yeah, you can tell by the dirty pants. Hey, nice catch, Matt.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
Jaco swings and misses, strike 3. Pakkala gets through the inning. Sorry, Matt Brandt. That was a bad time to pan over. 12-0 Barrie Baycats. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Through the hole, it's a base hit. And for the record, those are their words, not mine.
I was about to ask, is that quote unquote?
I didn't just come up with that. It was in the chat. It was what one of our lovely viewers had to say. Owen Constantino will step into the batter's box here for the Barnstormers after a base hit from Gurney. Swings and misses. Strike 1.
So still none out in the inning. Barnstormers still have a chance to try and not only get their first run, but try and make that gap a little bit closer.
Swing and a miss there. 0-2.
A lot of fans making their way under the grandstand here at Labatt Memorial Park, trying to keep clear of the rain, but a good number of umbrellas.
Chopped towards second. Enoa hops, throws to Escato. On to Lenahan, in time! Double play, the crowd loves it.
What an effort. It can be raining, it can be pouring, but you can't take the effort out of the majors. We've seen them hustling, turning some great plays. What an effort from them so far, trying to keep this a 10-0 shutout.
Can be raining, can be pouring, but at Labatt Park, the old man certainly is not snoring. I had Ansari into the batter's box here as we Draw ever closer to a conclusion of this ball game. Ansari comes up empty on the swing. It's 1-0. Pardon me, 0-1. Been a long, hot night.
Yeah, you can definitely say that again.
0-1 count. Pitch from Canice in the dirt. No bite from Ansari there. It's been a tough out tonight for the majors. 2 for 3 is the Barnstormers catcher.
Well, back here at Christie Pitts, 12-0 lead for the Barrie Baycats. New pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs is Kyle Poapst, throwing to a new battery mate in Dionysius Chialtas, who took over last inning behind the plate. Francisco Hernandez ducks out of the way of the first pitch from Kyle Poapst that went right over his head. That's ball 1.
Yeah, just a bit inside.
Top of the 8th inning here in Toronto. And that one hit him. First pitch went over his head. Kyle Poapst hits Francisco Hernandez in the backside with the next pitch, and the tension is building a little bit here in the pits. What do you think?
I mean, it's 11 or it's 12-0. I don't think there should be really any intent behind it. It looks like the first pitch, he didn't have control. The second one, it's just kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Let's see what happens next. That'll tell us probably. I mean, the first pitch went right over his head. It didn't really look like the ball slipped out of his hand, but I mean, it's hard to tell. It could have just been a coincidence. The 2 pitches were both inside. Can you think of something earlier in the game that might have led to that?
I don't believe so.
And he's going on the first pitch, and he has swiped second base, and that is going to be something that the Maple Leafs won't like as well. It's 12-0 in the top of the 8th inning, and he steals second. He wasn't being held on at first. So that was probably in response to getting hit by the pitch. As Poapst delivers low, and the count's 2-0 now. So there's certainly a little bit of gamesmanship going one way or the other. And now he's going to third, throw down, and they got him. Hernandez, and here come the benches. Both benches have cleared, and there is a pile up at third base. Kyle Poapst hit Hernandez, then he stole second base in the top of the 8th inning in a 12-0 game, then tried to steal third. The tag was applied to get him out at third base, and that summoned both benches into action.
Yeah, and I understand it. You know, obviously Hernandez not happy about getting hit, but you just can't retaliate like that. That was a really aggressive slide into the legs of Spencer Ross. I understand it. You know, frustrations get high when that happens to you. Not saying it was the right thing, but that's just a really aggressive slide. There's no need to do that.
I mean, he tackled him.
There's no need for that in any game of any sorts.
I just felt like he already kind of made his point when he stole second base. I don't know. I think that might be a little bit overboard, but both benches clearing kind of confirms that. Looks like things are starting to dissipate a little bit as teams go back to the benches. I mean, Hernandez is hot. He's having to be held back as he goes back to the Baycats dugout.
Yeah, umpire's going to talk about this. of the situation. My big concern right now is how is Spencer Ross, because that was a hard slide into the legs of Ross.
Yeah. And I mean, Hernandez is an infielder, right? You know, if he's on the infield, I think you know that the Maple Leafs are probably, you know, if there's going to be a slide at second base, it's not going to be a light slide into a bag if he's standing there. I'm wondering if, you know, it's going to be hard to tell whether anyone got ejected. You'd have to imagine that someone did. I'd have to think that Hernandez has been thrown out of this game.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to walk down the line. Like I said, I understand. You know, it's never fun when you get a pitch high and in, and then the next one hits you. Yeah, it's not fun, and I'm not saying, you know, the frustrations that he had in that time frame are right, but to retaliate by trying to forcefully slide into another player, it's not a good look.
Certainly interesting. I mean, there's lots of history between these two teams. You can look back as early as the first round playoff series, and I don't remember the benches clearing in that series, but there were certainly some words exchanged both ways. You know, I remember in that series, catcher Justin Morrow was checked for had a substance check, and he was just really offended by that in that series. And I know the rest of the Maple Leafs were as well, and I'm sure there was, you know, stuff going both ways. So there's a history between these two teams. There's a rivalry between the Maple Leafs and the Baycats. They've played each other quite a bit to start this season, and things certainly just boiled over here in the 8th. Not really any punches thrown or anything, but that's the first time we've seen a benches clearing incident. It looks like Hernandez is walking back to the dugout. We can kind of see him in the outfield on his way back to the clubhouse. I think he was the only one that was thrown out after that altercation. Here's the one time called by Pulyar Janissar at the plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Pulyar Janissar hooks one foul onto the hill. Pulyar Janissar is the third pinch hitter now in the game for the Baycats. And he swings and misses at that pitch, and Kyle Poapst gets the strikeout. Well, the first 2 outs recorded in order by Kyle Poapst. Hits a guy, gives up a stolen base, and then picks him off at third, and then gets a strikeout. So that'll work for Poapst out there on the mound. First 2 retired. And now here's Keys for his second at-bat.
Man, I thought Canada Day was on Wednesday. Got some fireworks going off here at the ballpark.
Yeah, there certainly was some fireworks on Wednesday through pretty much all the ballparks that had Canadian baseball leagues that day. Keys just took a pitch inside, but it was a breaking ball there from Kyle Poapst.
And he also gave a little bit of a stare down to Poapst after it as well.
Sure. This is up and away with the next pitch, and it's 2-0. Pitch to Keys. Misses outside, a 3-0 count. Kyle Poapst finds the zone. And a swing and a miss. Count runs full. Kyle Poapst was behind the count 3-0 to Clayton Keys. Delivers a strike on the outside corner, then gets the swing and a miss, and is trying to get through a 3-batter inning here in the 8th. And that's strike 3 called on the inside corner. Great pitch from Kyle Poapst. It was An eventful inning. The bench is cleared, and it ends up being 3 batters, 3 retired for Kyle Poapst as he gets a couple of punch-outs. 12-0 Barrie Baycats. Quick break, and we'll be right back. Couple changes around the infield for the Barrie Baycats. Noah Hull, the third baseman. Adam Odd has moved from third to short. Ciprian's out of the game behind the plate in favor of Carson Barker. Brad Grieveson is the new pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs, and he's facing Dionysius Chialtas in his first at-bat of the season. Grieveson looks in. The 1-0 pitch to Chialtas, and he takes a strike on the inner half. Chialtas swings and fouls the ball right straight back.
Good healthy hack right there.
I think that Brendan Daly is into the game at second base as well for the Baycats. Chialtas reaches for that pitch and fouls it off.
Staying alive. For anyone's curious, it's 1-0 Colombia over Ghana.
Yeah, in the World Cup.
Yes, sir.
Soccer. Chialtas fouls another one off.
Or as they say across the pond, football.
One and two on Dionysius Chialtas, trying to get a hit in his first game back. That pitch outside from Brad Grieveson.
Must be a cloudy night.
Grieveson an ERA of 7.20 on the season in 5 innings. Here's the 2-2 to Chialtas. And it just misses outside as Dionysius Chialtas works the at-bat. Grieveson has pitched in 3 different games this season. 2 of them have been against the Maple Leafs. And Dionysius Chialtas gets into this one to left. It's deep, and it is up against the wall. Dionysius Chialtas cruises into second base. He's got himself a stand-up double. Welcome back, DC.
Gotta love that. Absolutely just rips it opposite field off the wall, and DC standing up there on second. Good swing, too. Got the hands inside perfectly, and that's a ball that just kept carrying.
What a way to start off your season with the Maple Leafs. Chialtas out there at second base with nobody out in the eighth. Now Kirk Gibson will come to the plate. Pitch to Gibson, in there for a strike. Last time out, Grieveson pitched 2 innings, scoreless, hitless relief against the Maple Leafs. He was here at the pits as this one's hit foul, just foul by Gibson down the line. Had a strikeout and a walk. The ERA over 7 has come because of 1 outing against the Brantford Red Sox, but when you look back to his outings against the Maple Leafs this season, Chialtas' double is just the 2nd hit that he's allowed against Toronto in 3+ innings. Kirk Gibson hits one on the ground. Big hop for Daly at second. Throw on to first in time. And that's out number 1. So Spencer Ross will try to drive in Chialtas and get the first run of the ball game for the Maple Leafs.
Last chance for Ross to extend this on-base streak as well.
Right, probably. Ross swings and misses at the first pitch. 11 straight games for Spencer Ross that he's got on base. The 0-1. Ross hits a chopper on the ground. Daly has it, flips to first in time, and the Maple Leafs are on the board. Spencer Ross drives them in with a ground out, and it's 12-1.
Well, for Ross, that on-base streak will end, but hey, the Leafs get one across on the board.
Call it a 12-game productive at-bat streak for Spencer Ross. So he gets the run home. So Yordan Manduley comes to the plate. The bases are empty. Brad Grieveson's job, he knows, is simple here. Just throw strikes against this Maple Leafs team. He's just got to get through a couple innings and rest the Barrie Baycats bullpen. They are in the midst of a 4-4. This is the 3rd game of the 4-4. As Manduley fouls it off. They lost the first one, and now they're trying to put together a 2-game winning streak to make it a successful run. There's the 1-1 pitch. And this one's hooked down the line. Fair ball, it hits the line. Yordan Manduley is digging for second, and he's going to get there with the Maple Leafs' 2nd double of the inning.
Really good piece of hitting out of Manduley right there. He kind of just waited back on the pitch, and then he was able just to drive it right down the line. You can tell it was fair because all the chalk kicked up down there.
Yeah. Manduley did such a good job to keep that ball fair. That was a tough pitch. He was way out in front of it. Now here's J.J. Dutton. Fouls the first pitch off. Maple Leafs batters are coming up here against Brad Grieveson and just looking for hits. They are swinging away. They know Grieveson's just out there throwing strikes. That's what his job is. 1-0 on J.J. Dutton with a runner in scoring position. And J.J. takes a strike, and now he's behind in the count. The 0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. The London Majors have taken down the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. They won that game 10-0 over Chatham. That game was in London. For Chatham, it was great when they go to London. That's their closest team that they play, and yet it still takes 2 hours to get there. As this one's hit on the ground to the new shortstop, Adamad. He throws to first just in time to get J.J. Dutton, and that will end the inning, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are on the board, and Dionysius Chialtas has his first hit in his first at-bat of the season. It was a double. He would come in to score. It's 12-1 Barrie Baycats here at the pits. Nolan Machibroda, the first baseman, facing Kyle Poapst. Baycats with their last chance to add on to this already pretty great 12-1 lead over the Maple Leafs. Here's the 0-1. Kyle Poapst drew the ire of the Barrie Baycats last inning after a benches clearing kerfuffle. There was a hit by pitch and a hard slide into third base and a stolen base late in a blowout game, and we got a little taste of excitement here at the pits.
Did you just crack open the dictionary for a couple of the words in that sentence?
No, they were already in there.
I'm pretty impressed. Say iris? What was the? What was?
I don't know. Ire.
Ire. What? I've never heard that.
Here's the 2-1. It's a common word. I've heard like other baseball commentators say it, like real. This comes out to try and get Poapst back in the zone. There's the 3-1 pitch. And a high chopper. Going to be a tough play for Tavares. Comes in, throws quickly, and Kirk Gibson keeps his foot on the bag. Nice play all around on the Maple Leafs infield, one away.
Yeah, Gibson had to make sure he's kept contact with the bag, but a great extension there by the young first baseman.
So that'll bring shortstop now Adam on to the plate as we get another look at that. Yeah, that was a high chop. I mean, Gibson just all out stretch to record that out. Poapst first pitch to Odd. And Adam Odd hits one in the air to center field, and that's a no-doubter. Adam Odd makes it 13-1 Barrie Baycats.
Yeah, he knew it the second it left his bat. He enjoyed it for a little of an extra second there.
Yeah, it was to center field, a little bit the other way. And J.J. Dutton in center field barely moved for that one. He knew it was gone off the bat. So that'll bring Carson Barker to the plate. He's the catcher right now. Poapst first pitch to Barker. And Barker hits one in the air to center. J.J. Dutton going back towards the warning track, and he has room to make the catch, and there's 2 away.
The crowd reacted pretty big after that swing. There's a pretty big whoa again, as they thought it might have been a back-to-back.
Brendan Daly is at second base, and he's getting his first at-bat. Daly takes strike 1. Brendan Daly, the 23-year-old utility player out of Milton, Ontario. Swings and misses, and the count's 0-2. Daly played his first 3 seasons in the league for the Hamilton Cardinals, now playing his first year with the Barrie Baycats. He's hitting 182 on the season, and this is 12th at-bat. It's a high chopper to Ross at third base. He throws to first in time, and that will end the inning. A 13-1 lead for the Baycats, and the Maple Leafs have 3 outs to work with in the bottom half. Well, this has been a long-time matchup in the Intercounty and now Canadian Baseball League. Brad Grieveson against Marcus Knecht. And they meet again here in the 9th inning as the first pitch from Grieveson is just inside.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah. Knecht drills one in the air. This one is deep to right field, and it is gone. Marcus Knecht goes the other way for a home run, and it's 13-2.
Just a really good piece of hitting right there from Knecht. Low and away, you extend the hands out, and you just drive it all the way over that metal monster.
Just a good swing. Marcus Knecht takes what the pitcher gives him. He's got so much power. able to muscle it over the wall. And Marcus Knecht is still hot for the Maple Leafs this season. I mean, he has been really swinging it well. Kind of had a breakout game against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, where he had 5 hits. And the pitch to Crix Tavares, pitches outside. And Tavares rips one down the line, foul. Hit it hard, but it was well foul and right. 5th home run of the season for Marcus Knecht as he's starting to work himself up the Canadian Baseball League home run leaderboard. 1 behind Yasiel Puig, and Puig is tied for 5th right now in the league. Maple Leafs got a 3 home run performance out of Yasiel Puig to win 2 games ago against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, but it was Marcus Knecht's 3-run shot that Rob Butler pointed out kind of sealed the deal for the Maple Leafs. Tavares swings and misses at that pitch, and the count's now 3-2. Tavares foul tips it into the glove of Carson Barker, and that's a strikeout for Brad Grieveson. Well, Dennis DeBanning, who works closely in the offseason and is good friends with Marcus Knecht, will have seen that swing where he took the ball the other way. DeBanning, we think, we've thought he's just been a tad late on some of these pitches, but he's a guy who can really hit the ball well the other way as he takes inside. That one hits Dennis DeBanning, and remember, there's already tension in this game. DeBanning didn't like it, but I just... We'll see how this plays out in the next couple moments. Both benches stay where they are. DeBanning, kind of made his point right away, but now is going to head down to first base. Brian Sewell is out to chat with the home plate umpire just to see what his read on the situation is.
I think what might have happened and why Sewell has kind of his hands out like that was just, umpires could have issued saying a warning just in case, if they retaliated like that. Or if a retaliation did happen, I should say.
Yeah, that was
I think it was an off speed on the inside half. That just
it might have been.
I think that's what it was.
Mike Giacchetto at the dish now. He hits one on the ground. This could be 2, and now it's bobbled at second base, and everyone's safe. That probably would have been the double play that would have got the Barrie Baycats the victory. Instead, Daly bobbles it at second base and then flips it away. I think he still had a play at second.
Well, a bloop, a bobble, and a blast is all you would need. He had a couple of times, actually, but...
Should mention, DeBanning's slide at second base was not delicate, but didn't impact the play. So here's Dionysius Chialtas, hit a double in his last at-bat. Well, this lineup could turn over to Spencer Ross if the Maple Leafs get it going here. And we had mentioned that Spencer Ross was trying to extend that on-base streak. Here's the 1-0 to Chialtas, and that one's in there for a strike.
Again, last time up, you mentioned that DC hit that double, and it was just a really good piece of hitting. He brought his hands in, got the barrel of the bat to the ball, and was able to just drive it inside out the ball, really.
Got another pitch on the inner half and was able to check his swing. So 1-2 now on Chialtas with 2 runners on base. He fouls one off at home plate. The game could have been over. There was a play that was bobbled at second base, looked like a routine double play ball. Things turn over to Chialtas, who's trying to just keep putting runs on the board here for the Maple Leafs. And Chialtas breaks his bat, hits a tapper to second. Here's the throw to first, and it's not in time. Broken bat, fielder's choice for Dionysius Chialtas, and there's 2 away.
Hustling out of the box there was DC. Obviously nothing really Jaco could do, just hustle down to second, hope you can maybe get there, but gets retired by the fielder's choice easily.
Kirk Gibson at the dish. Last chance here for the Leafs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Gibson takes upstairs. DeBanning, the runner at third base, Chialtas at first. Here's the 1-0 to Gibson. Swing and a miss. Runners on base still not a factor for the Baycats. Not holding anybody on as well. There's the 1-1. And Kirk Gibson hits one in the air to shallow center field. It's the shortstop who goes out. It's Adamad who makes the catch, and that'll end the ball game. The Barrie Baycats take this one 13-2. Zach, I guess the most exciting moment of the game would have had to be in the benches clearing incident an inning ago.
Yeah, Barrie, I mean, really from start to finish, they played a perfect game. Really from batting practice on to the end of the game, their bats were red hot. I mean, they were hitting the ball out like it was nothing during batting practice. During the game, it just kind of stayed red hot. They did a tremendous job just, continuing to ride the momentous wave they had after the walk-off win the other night.
Yeah, it was a shorthanded Maple Leafs lineup today, but it was the pitching of Hayden Jaco who really shut things down early on, and the Barrie Baycats offense just took it from there. They get the decisive victory against the Toronto Maple Leafs, 13-2, the final. For myself, Thomas West, as well as Zach Benoit. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a good night.